Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Misty with Digital Learning, and I want to welcome you to our very first virtual Lunch and Learn. Both I'm here, hi, Misty with Digital Learning, and Melissa is here with Digital Learning. And we wanted to start these as an opportunity for you guys to be able to come in and learn from the comfort of your desk, put your headphones on, open us up, listen to a recording or watch our live webinar and walk away with some new tools and techniques that you could use without having to travel to another campus or maybe stay after school or something like that. This could be a way that, well, even if you couldn't attend the full hour, that you could come in for part of your time and pick up some new skills and information. So for those of you who are not able to join us today, we are going to share this recording out, and then we'll kind of take some feedback and look at what works well and adjust moving forward. This is our inaugural virtual Lunch and Learn. So any weird things that happen, we're going to go ahead and just say sorry right now, but know that we're always working to improve, and we will be even better the next time that we do this. So that is a little bit of the why and background on deciding to do this. So I'm going to turn it over to Melissa real quick.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Move this down. Okay, so there's the agenda. All right, so next thing, how to access the recordings and participate. When you sign up in Talent Ed for a virtual Lunch and Learn, you will sign up in Talent Ed, and that lets us know that you would like to participate. And from there, we'll send you a Google Calendar invitation. Within that invitation is going to have a link to a Zoom meeting. You can join from your device, whether it's a desktop, a MacBook, your phone. You can call in, whatever is easiest for you during that time. Totally up to you. But all the different options are available in that Google Calendar invitation. I can show you what it looks like from here. And then you'll see right here, so if you're joining from a PC or Mac, iOS or Android, here's that link. Or if you choose to call in, you can also do that, and there's the link for that as well, the phone number and the meeting ID. In the calendar invitation, we also have linked the agenda. If you are watching this as a recording, you have found that recording already, but just so everyone knows, after this virtual Lunch and Learn, we are going to send the agenda and the video recording to everyone that registered for the session, but it also will be available in our Digital Learning Services course. So to get there, I have it linked in our agenda. Once you select that link, it'll take you to this. This is great to be enrolled in, whether you're going to watch our video or not, because there's so much information here, including how to check out the iPads or the virtual reality kit, as well as a lot of different digital learning resources grouped by different topics. But back towards the top, you'll see a button that says DL Professional Learning. Once you select that, that will take you to what we have so far. So we offered our first session in September about classroom management, so that presentation is linked there. And as soon as this Lunch and Learn is over today, we will get that recording, and it will be linked right here for you to access at any time. So if you need to refer back to it or anything, feel free to do so at any time. All right, the next thing we wanted to show you is a scope and sequence for students on technology skills and what they should be able to do at different grade levels. So this is broken down by content, and you can see B is for beginning, D is developing, and then S is secure or mastered. So they should be able to do it by wherever the S's start on the chart. So I'm going to scroll down to Multimedia. There it is. So multimedia and presentation tools, which is kind of what we are going to go over today. You'll see a lot of it for K1 is beginning. Some don't even start some of the things in kinder or first grade. Once they're getting into second and third, they are still beginning in some areas and developing. But by the time we get to middle school and high school, they should have mastered almost everything listed for multimedia and presentation tools.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So that is something that we hope everyone's aware of. But again, this is a great resource on all kinds of different instructional technology topics and everything. So word processing, it's a lot of that there. Collaboration tools, communication, keyboarding, that's huge. So we want to make sure that we are actually working on these within the classroom because, as you know, it's not just in elementary when they go to computers during specials that they should be getting this. This should be embedded within the classroom, especially our classrooms that are one-to-one with devices. If you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to reach out, let us know. We're always here to support you as you help your students develop these skills. All right, and now I'm going to turn it back over to Misty.
All right, and I'm also going to switch over to sharing my screen now. Sorry, I have so many screens. Here we go. Let's go to this one. So here's the agenda, and we are going to dive right in, and we're going to talk about, I'm going to go with Pichakucha, okay? That's going to be the pronunciation for this. I've listened to a few different pronunciations, but we're going to go with Pichakucha because that's fun to say. So Pichakucha is a method of presentation, and basically it intentionally sets limits on the presenter. So what you do is you take the basic of Pichakucha is 20 slides, 20 seconds per slide. So I have this presentation and I have 20 slides to cover my information, but I only get 20 seconds per slide to share that information out with my audience. If you look at the links, and we will share the agenda out as well as part of when we share the recordings and everything, but if you follow those links out, you'll see some uses for the classroom. What I think is most intriguing is a lot of times in classroom presentations, especially with students presenting, we get slides that are very heavy with text, and the student stands at the front of the room and reads the slide word for word. You've probably been in trainings as an adult where this exact same thing has happened as well. So the idea here would be that in place of a text-heavy slide and reading those word for word, you would have a visually impactful slide, and you would have to do a concise, to the point speaking, covering the content that needed to be covered. Because we use Google Slides, we actually get a buffer here. We get 10 extra seconds per slide, because when it comes time to publish, you would only be able to set the auto timer to 30 seconds per slide. So you would have 30 seconds per slide, but I would still hold to the 20 slides per presentation. So you'd have 20 for 30 instead of 20 for 20. If I'm confusing you completely, I'm going to show you a couple of things. I would encourage you to come in here and look at some of these examples that are here. And then this part is especially important when you're introducing this to your students. If you go to, and right now the site isn't working, but if you go to the pichakucha.org, you can watch several examples of these. And literally, the slide is behind the presenter. They have 20 seconds, and then whether they're finished or not, the slide moves on. So your students really have to be deliberate in what they're choosing to say, what they're choosing to share. So instead of getting a a word-for-word repeat of what they found in an encyclopedia or on a website. They've got to distill that information down to its essence and pull out those pieces that are really important or what they believe is most important for you to know about their topic. So that's a great literacy skill, a great way for them to summarize and rephrase in their own words what they've read, also while sharing this information out in a new way. So to show you how you could do this with a Google slide, I'm going to take a slide that I already have created. It's all pictures, actually. But what I would do is I would go to File and then Publish to the Web. When I click here, I then have an option to select the auto advance of my slides. It defaults to every 3 seconds. That's a little fast. I'm going to go ahead and change that to every 30 seconds and then publish. Now, when I'm ready to present my slide, it will auto advance my slides every 30 seconds. So I'm going to go to present. And I would be introducing my topic here. I would be making my first impactful note. I don't know how long 30 seconds is. Oh, I didn't hit play. So really messed that up. But you would hit play to present, and then it would auto scroll you through your slides every 30 seconds. So your students would only have 30 seconds per slide to get their point across. So that is the Picha Kucha method. And that's also how you can add auto timer to your Google slide presentations. Oh, there it goes. See, just moved ahead for us. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. And Melissa is going to talk to you about another very cool Google slide feature.
All right, so glad to be back with you all today. So this is something that I found out about maybe a week or so ago, and it totally blew my mind. I'm so excited about this feature. But this is almost like a back channel for your Google Slides presentations for your students when you're presenting. So it's called Q&A, and it's built into slides. So once you have your slides open and you're ready to present to your audience, whether it's students or let's say you're presenting at a conference, you can use this with them as well. In the upper right-hand corner, once you're ready to present, you're just going to press present. And then down in the bottom left-hand side, this is going to be all of your navigation tools and your options as the presenter. The first one you'll see is Q&A. So you will select this. And like I said, this is a back channel for your audience. So they can ask questions as you were going through without A, interrupting you, or B, coming up with a question and then forgetting by the time you have an opportunity to stop and ask. People have questions. So I'm going to reset because I had already started playing this. But so start new. And once you do that, it's going to give a link. You would share this link with your audience. And then I'll show you what that looks like. Move that so I don't lose it. Menu tab. So it's very simple, very user-friendly. As they're listening to your presentation, they click in the box and they can ask a question. Now, this is great for students as well, especially your shy students, students who may be embarrassed to ask a question or just shy in general and they don't really speak out. We don't want to lose them in the shuffle of things. So what they can do is they can ask a question anonymously. So that way they're not embarrassed or they're not too shy to ask it. Type it in, and once they've done that, they submit the question. Of course, this is not related. Submit. So there it is. Other members can like it or downvote it. And then over here as the presenter, I have it right here for me. I can also get to my speaker notes, so don't feel like you might lose that option as well. Those are both there. But then here's this, it pops up, and when I have a moment, I can address this question and I can answer it for my audience. This is also great for keeping your students engaged and allowing them to interact versus just sitting and listening to a lecture over a presentation. So this would be another option compared to if you're a Nearpod user, because we don't always want to do the exact same thing all the time. So this is a great way to switch it up between Nearpod and Google Slides as well. In the agenda, I will show you. We also have 2 resources linked, so you can refer to these if you would like. They go more over, again, how to access it, but also some perks and some usage, perks of using the Q&A feature in slides, which I am really excited about, and I will be using with my next presentation. All right, back over to Misty for audio.
All right, so that is text and graphics, basically, is what we were covering there, is looking at how you could kind of reimagine some of the things you're already using. So we know you're already using Google Slides, the Pecha Kucha, Pikachu method, and then adding Q&A into your slides. So we're going to switch gears now, and we're going to go to audio. I'm going to share my screen again. There we go. Okay, can you guys see Vocaroo? So the first thing you're going to notice, it's not much of a site to look at. When you're like, huh, that's all there is to it? Yes, that's all there is to it. But that's a plus, because it also means it's really easy to use. So we do have to go ahead and click to enable Adobe, and then say allow. And then it's going to say click to record. It's going to ask you to allow again. Go ahead and say yes. And now it's ready to record. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. I'm going to retry. Sorry, I didn't realize I was recording. So I'm recording right now. This is a great recording. I love this recording. It's awesome. And now it's done. I can listen to it, or I can click here to save. When I click here to save, this is what's really cool about Vocaroo. I can embed this, I can email it, or I can generate my own QR code. And that is one of the ways that we recommend that you use this with students. So your students could, and I'll show you what that looks like. I just click there, and then there's the QR code. If I put this QR code around the room, if I shared it out in a Canvas course or a Google Classroom course, students would be able to follow this QR code to my recording that I just made. Or again, I could embed it. There's my embed code. Or I could email it out. Or just copy and paste that link and share it. So a lot of different ways that you could do this. One of the most visually impactful ways, though, is using that QR code. Think about Meet the Teacher Night, Walk the Lake. What are some of the other curriculum night that some of the campuses have, where parents are up there and involved, and they want to know what their students are doing in your class? So you could actually have your students all go to Vocaroo and do a recap over what they've learned in that unit. In this unit, we learned about how to add and subtract unalike fractions. That's what my daughter's working on right now. That's why I thought of that. So they could actually explain their learning, explain what they've been doing in Vocaroo, and then they could take that QR code, share that QR code with you. You could print those out and put them around your room, even with a little cute picture of that student. And when a parent comes up there, they could scan that QR code and hear directly from their student exactly what they're doing in class. Beyond that, think about how awesome this would be for peer-to-peer book reviews in the library. Students could read a book, they could do a Vocaroo recording, and librarians could put these QR codes on the backs of the books or near the books, especially for those popular pieces that are often checked out. This could help kind of get some renewed interest, because speaking from firsthand experience, I could tell my kids a book was great. And they're like, okay, you think it's great? You're old. What do you know? But if another student said this book is really good, all of a sudden it was never in stock in the library because the kids were passing it back and forth amongst themselves. So those QR codes, it's going to be a way, an interactive way for them to be able to hear each other. And again, free. This is free and very easy to use. Even your younger students, as long as they've got web access, could create a Vocaroo and click on creating that QR code. So that was fast, but that's Vocaroo.
I'm just going to add in, this would be great for open house too, which at least for the elementary schools, I know is coming up in about a month. So you plenty of time to add this to your open house in your classroom.
I really think, especially if you were able to like print out their little pictures and have that, how impactful is that as you walk down the hall, even not for parents, but for other teachers or for your administrators to be able to see that student and hear their learning right there in that moment. So very powerful way and easy way for your kids to share their learning using audio. All right. Back to Melissa.
All right, I'm going to take back over as we move in to video, which I'm super excited about because it is a very powerful tool for our students. So the first thing I want to talk about is why would I want my students creating videos? One, it could be as a learning product, a summative for the end of a unit. There's so much that they can include and share with their fellow students. The second one is response videos to either questions or prompts that you may provide them with. Kind of in relation, a third would be reflection videos. They don't have to be long for response videos or reflection videos. They can be short. They could be a few minutes. Flipgrid, if you have never used Flipgrid, it is a video option as well that allows students to record anywhere from 30 seconds up to, I believe, like 3 to 5 minutes. So those are great options as well. And then another one, which I think our students could highly relate to, are tutorial videos, teaching others about things or how to do things. This generation is so used to YouTubing and watching tutorial videos already. Why not let them create their own tutorial videos to help teach their fellow peers? So how do we do this? If your students are on MacBooks, we highly recommend QuickTime and Imovie. QuickTime is what they would use to record with. Imovie is what they would use to edit and design their videos. They can crop, they can add music, they can add title slides, they can add, I just went name blank. The little ones at the bottom, Misty. Like captions or banners. I cannot think of the what I'm thinking of, but just at the bottom, they can add text as well. Imovie allows to add transitions and everything. So your students already have both QuickTime and Imovie on their MacBooks. You as well already have QuickTime and Imovie on your MacBooks. So just to show you what it looks like, I already have QuickTime Player pinned at the bottom on my toolbar. However, if you don't, you would just go to Launchpad. And I believe everyone has it in their other folder, whether you have to slide to find it, but you select it. Here's QuickTime Player, big Q. Once you select it, it looks like nothing happened. But if you look in my upper left-hand corner, you will see QuickTime Player. They simply go to File. They can do a movie recording, an audio recording, or a screen recording. Movie recording is the webcam is filming me. Audio, it is just filming my voice. Or screen recording, it is filming whatever is on my screen, whether it's my desktop, another application, or even a web browser. They would simply select it. It's going to pop up just like this. The thing to remember is you need to select that down arrow, and I believe when you first open QuickTime, it's probably going to have none checked where it is not going to record audio. But if you want audio with your screen recording, make sure to select internal microphone. You should be able to see these little bars moving, and that'll tell you that it's recording the audio. Once you're ready, you can select the plus. I can record my entire screen, or if I just want a portion, I can select and drag the portion of my screen, and then I would do start recording. And then, so you can see the bright section is what I'm recording. In the upper right-hand corner, here's my stop button. So when I'm done, simply press stop. I can preview my recording, delete it, redo it, share it, whatever I'd like to do. So I do not want this, so I'm not going to save it. So that's QuickTime. Imovie is also already on your devices. It will not be in that folder. It's going to be the star with the purple on the inside. I will say iMovie in the beginning can be a little overwhelming. However, it's one of those things, the more you do it, once you get the hang of it, hopefully you remember our Techmas videos. It does get much easier as it goes, the more you play with it and stuff. So you just select the button, movie. And this is just a real quick recap. I am going to show you, we do have digital learning badges for both iMovie and QuickTime. So if you, the teacher, would like to learn more about it, I'll show you how to get to those. However, we know students, they pick stuff up fast, they get in there. Again, they'll go to YouTube to figure out how to do stuff. Misty, did you want to pop something in there?
One of the requirements in the there's one that is it asks you to create a QR code.
The QR codes?
The QR code one, I was gonna say that Vocaroo would be a good one to, if you need to create a QR code, that's an easy way. I forget which badge that's for.
That is the QR codes badge. Sorry.
Okay, there you go.
And now that I say that, I do not believe we have an iMovie badge, but that is something we will work on. We do have a QuickTime badge though, so I'll show you how to get to that. But this is pretty much what iMovie looks like. This is where you go to develop everything. Media, this is where once you've recorded in QuickTime, you would find it on your computer and import it. Once you have stuff there, you would drag it down here. It would allow you to crop and trim your video. You can do multiple clips. It doesn't have to be all in one recording. So you could do a movie recording of yourself and then do a screen recording. It can be done on a phone and then shared to a computer and then uploaded into iMovie to edit. Up here is where you can add in your audio. Here are your title slides. You can have different backgrounds if you want to add text, and then all of your transitions that you can add in. Once you're done, it's actually super simple to share. I don't have anything, but you would select here, and it allows you to save it to your computer. You, the teacher, could, if you're making videos for, let's say, a flipped classroom or a blended classroom, you can record them and share them to YouTube so your students can get to them on YouTube. However, with students, we do recommend that once they have created a video, that they add it to their drive and then they can share it with you. And then you can make a playlist for your classroom if you would like. So that is QuickTime and iMovie. Again, that's just for MacBooks. If you're a teacher whose students have Chromebooks, we have a great option for you as well. And it's called Screencastify. This is a Chrome option. And there is also a Chrome extension, which when you select right here on the agenda, it will take you to where you can add it to Chrome. With Screencastify, it's not going to be as intense as QuickTime and iMovie are, which is great for our younger students. This is a great stepping stone to begin learning about making videos before they get into QuickTime and iMovie with MacBooks. With Screencastify, you get pretty much the same options. You can record a tab in the browser. You can record your desktop, or you can do it through the webcam where they're video recording themselves. One thing to remember with Screencastify, you cannot crop or trim your video. Once it's there, it is there. So if they don't like it, they would need to go back and re-record their video. Something great about Screencastify, it automatically saves to their Google Drive. So there's no forgetting to save it or anything, which is a great option. And then from there, they would share it with you or submit it to Canvas if you are using Canvas with your students. Now, with the free version, because we do not pay for Screencastify, there are a couple of limits. Videos can be no longer than 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a long time for your students to either teach about something, to do a learning product, to do a reflection or a recap. So I doubt that they're going to need longer than 10 minutes. They can only do up to 50 videos a month. That's a lot of videos. That's more than one a day. So between all 4 content areas, I'm pretty sure they're not going to run out unless they're just playing around and not really. So you'd want to kind of talk to them about that. Once they hit 50, they're done until the next month. So if they don't get to turn in those assignments at the end of the month, maybe next month we won't make our videos about whatever's popular right now. I don't know. Lastly, there's also a watermark that Screencastify puts on the videos since they are free, which isn't, you'll just have to look past it. It'll be fine. So that is Screencastify. Again, QuickTime and iMovie, MacBooks. Screencastify, Chromebooks. You can use Screencastify on your MacBooks because you do have access to the Chrome. However, we do feel QuickTime and iMovie are a better option. But if you have some students that struggle with those, Screencastify is also a great option that they are welcome to use when making their videos. In the agenda, there are a few different links there that'll give you more information about why it's helpful for students to create videos, some different resources that they can use. This, I forgot, I think it's this one that kind of talks about some, yes, so creating different things that they can include in their videos, whether it's logos, slides, posters, so much more. They give you a couple of options that students can create, and then as you can see here, they can use it within their videos to help present their information. So definitely check out those linked resources as well. Oh, and lastly, I was going to show you, if you want to learn about QuickTime, back in that digital learning course, that first link there is digital learning badges. If you select that, and then scroll down to MacBook badges. I do have it linked there. I need to edit that page. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead and select enroll in course. Go to course. And then from here, you will see there's the badge for QuickTime. So you can select it, and it's going to take you to that module. There's a little overview, some resources on getting started and everything. And then you could submit in order to get your QuickTime badge. Again, if you have any questions about any of those or need support with your students, please let us know. We are happy to help. And I'm going to turn it back over to Misty to wrap us up today.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen one more time. I want to say that we've gone pretty fast through a lot of material, but I'm looking right now, and it is just Melissa and I in our webinar right now. So hopefully moving forward, we will have more of you that are able to attend, in which case we would stop and take questions, have discussions about how you could see yourself using this in your classroom. But that's obviously harder for us to show when it's just the two of us talking back and forth about what we are covering. So if there's anything, though, that we covered today and you're like, okay, I really am interested in that, you went a little fast for me, please reach out, because we would be happy to talk to you more specifically about how you could use that. And also, if you like what you're hearing, please, if you're able to, join us or write back and be like, I have lunch at 11. Could you guys do 11 to 12? We are not set to a certain time. We're trying to be as flexible as we can be. So sometimes these lunch and learns may be from 12:45 to 1:45. Like, really, we're flexible, and we want some audience participation in these. And maybe they're not even lunch and learns. Maybe they're just learns. I don't know, virtual learns. But so again, we have covered a lot, and normally we would be stopping to talk about with the audience, to answer questions, to cover anything like that. So with that said, we actually have time now to look at H5P. Considering this as multimedia, this would be interactive multimedia. So H5P is just flat out stinking awesome. It is really super cool. It is free. I'm going to go ahead and log in. I already have my free account. So I'm going to log in. And what H5P is it lets you create interactive HTML-friendly content. And so you have here examples. So a memory game. Oh, gosh, I don't even know what Agamotto is, but arithmetic quizzes, dialect cards, iframe embedders, all of these things down here can be created by you and then embedded into your learning management. So I'll be honest, I don't know how exactly it works in Google Classroom, but I'm sure there's a way to get it in there. With Canvas, you take the embed code and copy it into a page. Melissa.
I have a question because I am new to H5P. I'm still learning. You mentioned that teachers can use this and embed it into their learning management system. Do students have access to where they could create like review activities and stuff too and share with peers or their teacher?
That's a very good question. I've not looked specifically at the usage guidelines, but assuming that those are safe, then yes. Anybody that comes in can create their free account. And let me show you one of mine that I already have made, so you can see how you share it, basically. So I have a lot. Let's look at this matching game. So here's my game, and you literally are doing matching. This one is about energy, different types of energy. I'm not doing so good. When I find a match, oh wait, I saw that one somewhere. This one? There we go. And then you get a note that pops up and tells you the type. So that's pretty neat, I think. If I wanted to share this out, though, down here I have an option to download or I have an option to embed. And it's just going to give me this code that I could then just copy and share. So I could take that HTML code and email it to my teacher, and my teacher could embed it. Or I could set up an assignment in Google Classroom or Canvas, and the submission would be to share your embed code, and then your teacher could go in and pop them into something. So that is one way that you could work around that. I haven't ever tried the download to see what kind of file that comes over as. I've only ever done the embed. So that's a very good question, though. So thank you for asking that. So back over here. Back to some of these. So I've made drag and drops. So here's a math drag and drop example. This one you're matching percentages to decimals. So they have to figure out I know that's not right. Okay. I have no idea. Did I use them all? There we go. Okay. And then you can check. Uh-oh, I didn't do very well. So all these ones that have X's, I got wrong. So I can try again. Review your notes and try again. And I was able to add that in as the creator of this content. So then when I retry, it resets, and I can go through the whole thing again. So what you're seeing, and I realize you guys can't see my hand. Here, let me use my mouse. What you're seeing here is the exact same content you would see embedded into your page or your site. So to show you one in Canvas, because that's where I have them. Here we go. So here's drag and drop. And the same thing. So you can see, it's literally, you can see down here, there's the H5P, there's the embed code, there's the download. It's this exact same box now within my Canvas course. And so again, I can take these things, and I really, science teachers of the world, if you're watching, I'm sorry, because I know these are not right. Check. I did not do well. So please see me for help. So I can actually scaffold this to the point to be like, well, if they're within this range, I want the note to say, please see me for help. Because obviously this student did not know at all the content. So sorry to my science teachers. But this is H5P. It's really just another way to add another layer of interactive components into your lessons. So instead of just giving your kids a worksheet over the cell wall or just having them copy notes from a PowerPoint, this is another way where they can still practice that skill, and it's a little bit more engaging and a little bit more hands-on. And it does provide that immediate feedback. I know right away that I don't know the parts of a cell. I need to review my notes. So, and again, that is just a small piece of the different things that you can create here in H5P. Oh, I've got drag and drops, text, hotspots. Hotspots is cool. I'm going to show this because this is neat. This one's asking you to find all the felines. So if I click, I can't, I get these red X's because that's not a feline. But this one is, and down here, correct, this is a tiger. 1 of 8. So I still have 7 more to find. Sorry, that's not one. Okay, the leopard is, and now I found 2 of 8. So that one's really neat, I think. And then there's one where you can actually do video. Maybe I don't have it. Yes, here it is. Okay. Stick on video. I'm actually going to get a video that pops up to teach me about the Alamo. And then when I'm done watching the video, I click on this arrow and it closes out, and then I go to my next hotspot and my next learning piece comes up. So again, how cool is that I could have all of that in one spot for my kids I've got that map. The map is interactive, and I was also able to layer in videos for my kids to watch to reinforce their learning. And that's all made in H5P for free. So, and by the way, it will give you like a basic template whenever you go to make it. You don't have to know code. You don't have to know anything like that. When you decide what you want to make, so if I want to do a memory game, I click on memory game. And if just kidding, I'm going to go to my account. I'm going to say create new content. And then all my options will show up here. Like, look at these options, guys. It's a ton. That's a ton of options. But let's say I want to do, what did I just say, memory game? So I'm going to do memory game. It's going to basically load a template, essentially, for me to follow. And then I can also always click over and look at the example. And there's a tutorial. So that's pretty nice, I think. So that's H5P, and that is a way that you can add some interactive components with your multimedia when you're talking to your students. And again, depending on terms of service, which I will look at and add that into the notes, your students could create those types of reviews or teaching materials as well for you to use. So I'm gonna stop sharing. It's 12:15, so we're actually a little early. So, Jeff, I know you're in the other room. Do you have any questions? He didn't hear all of our stuff. I'm just winging it now, guys. Melissa, anything else that you want to add?
No, I don't think so. Just like Misty said, again, we hope you can join us next time. After we end this meeting, I'm going to share out the link to the recording and the agenda to those who registered. It will also be available in our digital learning services course.
We'll probably share it out in our next s'more.
Yes.
For those that weren't registered, but to encourage registering moving forward.
Absolutely.
So,
all right.
I think that's
Thank
it.
you. Hope
Yeah.
you learned something. If you have questions, again, never hesitate to reach out to any of us in digital learning. We are here to support you in your endeavor to use technology with your students in a meaningful way. All right. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.